Back at it with the category inventions. Today, we're going to talk about Black environmentalists. So, Dr. George Washington Carver, he was an enslaved man around the end of the 1800s, so 1880s to be very specific. He was enslaved by a German American man who kept him after the Civil War was over, which means slavery was abolished. He still kept him and I guess treated him as an adoptive child, the history book says. At 11, he was supposedly castrated by this man who adopted him as his child. George Washington Carver went on to become one of the greatest agriculturalists of his era. He was able to put nitrogen back in the soil when it was stripped from all the years of growing cotton. Despite the disgusting behavior of white America, he still found an appreciation for life. And he even put life back into the soil when white folks, the white Americans, had stripped it, just like they stripped black folks of their dignity when they forced those black folks to do such environmental harm to the earth. George Washington Carver, he got an honorary doctorate because of how great his agriculture experiments and research had done. It made significant contributions. He created hair care products and he created different forms of milk. He used the peanut, soybeans, and other crops in a lot of ways. He used it in practical ways. So he's teaching you how to enrich your soil and use that same crop for household purposes. He knew the importance of protecting the environment because he saw how American slavery made the environment disgusting and unable to support life. So I want everyone else to be able to recognize him as a great environmentalist. And he was born into slavery, and he still had the capacity to think of something more than himself and his people's struggle. He thought about the environment and he helped make it fertile for growth, and that's something to be appreciated. Way over on the motherland continent, we have this Kenyan woman named Wangari Maathai. She was an environmentalist. She studied in America. She studied somewhere in Europe as well. She came back home and started to have this movement called the Green Belt movement. It basically allowed people who were considered poor to improve their environment and also make money by having a positive contribution to the environment. She basically fought the Kenyan government to pay attention to deforestation. She made sure that deforestation was seen as a problem and there were solutions for that problem. What she had done was she allowed people who were considered impoverished to grow seedlings so that those seedlings can be used to reforest areas that had been deforested. Some of the deforestation occurred because of poverty. You had these people who were cut out of economic systems, which are the Kenyan folks. They were cut out of economic systems, so they would need to cut down their last tree so that they'll be able to have their last meal. So she realized that it was a problem. Poverty was helping deforestation, and it was making deforestation an issue just as much as the government, which was allowing deforestation to occur due to profits, due to a business wanting to collect all these trees for profit. She also found out that if you teach people how to care about their environment and how to treat problems that arise, then it'll be a self-sustaining system. You won't have to hire anyone to do it because people who live there will care about it and they'll know how to support the environment so that they can really just support themselves. So another environmentalist, she did great work and she was able to get some area reforested. She was able to make sure that there was less erosion which was causing a lot of mud and soil to trickle into the drinking water of the people. So she made sure that trees were planted and trees had grown and thrived so that some of that erosion could be alleviated. It could be not a problem out of their way, which also allowed the drinking water, which was the river, to be cleaner because trees can act as a natural filter. And it was beautiful that she brought that back to her land. So George Washington Carver and Wangari Maathai are environmental legends in our community, and they deserve praise and recognition.